Hi. You hear the church music? I just saw the biggest pile of poop next to the sidewalk. Like, and I didn't want to bring it up because because it's not like appropriate to talk about, but it's like I don't think that was dog shit. Honestly, it looked too big to be people poop. Comment is a nice shirt. Thank you. I appreciate that. I actually just got it, so I appreciate that a lot. I have never seen I. It wasn't as big as horse poop. Man, it was big. Anyway, I don't need to talk about that anymore. I wanted to not talk about it, but I just couldn't help myself. What a day. I'm just saying that preemptively. I was working on the app again. I'm going to talk about this uh, a lot because this is just what I work on. So it's part of my life. But I was so sorry just in advance, I guess. And also not sorry. I was working on the app again last night. Been working really hard. Well, not really hard, but intently to make the new experience for new people when they come in. This is really, I like these flowers too. These are always pretty. I like when there's like two different kinds of flowers, like juxtaposed. So making the app startup sequence, so like when you first open it for the first time and use it to make it feel like it's like a moment, like something special and inviting. And I think it's on its way. I think I came up with some cool things that make it feel special. So I'm excited about that. Like truly, like there's certain things. I've been listening to the Walt Disney biography, and I usually don't like biographies. I've already said this tons of times. I usually like autobiographies, but this biography is really good. But the way Disney approached stuff, well, his biggest thing was like, I want to make things that people can enjoy. Like this is about the enjoyment, and so if it's not something that people will enjoy, I'm not interested in it. We're not doing it. And there's a thing I was reading or listening to. I don't know if they were talking about specifically for app development, but they were talking about for usage of stuff. Certain things, they need to evoke a feeling. It isn't just if something works, it needs to make someone feel something. And some other people described it as when you have those first moments, it needs to feel like a first kiss, where like you feel alive. And well, all the things that like go into that. There's a whole smattering of feelings that can all be part of that. And so trying to make something that evokes being alive and brings up kind of like a whole like mess of feelings is is a different thing than just making something that works. Anyway, I think the new intro sequences with those things in mind, and it's kind of like, okay, Justin, that's really dumb trying to make an app do that. Like, you're a big nerd, and maybe, but also like, I don't know, little bits of Disney inspiration and little bits of, well, just trying to make moments special. And I think it's excuse me. I think it's starting to develop that way, which is really fun. Oh. This is kind of a cool flower too. Check this one out. Still trying to figure out my phone zoom here. It's pretty. There's a comment. Sorry, I am drunk and I feel good. Hell yeah, buddy. I know I'm just assuming you. No, I think you've told me before. Your buddy. Well, buddy can be any gender, I guess, now that I think about it. Let the good times roll. I was at a birthday party yesterday evening, and one of the people had mentioned that I was live streaming my walks, and then someone else asked, "Well, what do you talk about on your walks?" And I was like, "I don't know, like whatever goes into my brain." I was like, "Sometimes nothing." So that's a thing. Do you know, this is a thing that I don't know if this is internal to some humans or maybe just me, or if it's the way I was raised. When people put things out on the side of the street, like for giveaway or throwaway is really what it is. When people are throwing things away, I always feel the need to like look at it and just see. I don't know if it's because I'm nosy or if it's because I don't know what it is, what the compulsion is, but I feel like I have to like stop myself from like, no, Justin, we don't. Good morning. No, Justin, we don't dig through other people's trash. How about that? Oh, today's feeling pretty good. Feeling pretty good. comment says, "You are a lone wolf. That is okay and precious." Hell yeah. I'm not always alone. A lot of the time I am. I haven't seen my bluebirds for a little bit. My bluebirds. I'm going to take possession of bluebirds. The bluebirds that I like that are my friends. Let's say that. Sometimes I'll be walking in LA and then I'll be, actually, it's often I'll be walking and then you see people going out in the middle of the street and someone takes a photo of the other person. It'll be like groups of friends. And these are pretty too. Look at these. They just hang. It's pretty. They'll just hang and they're taking pictures of each other in the street. And then I realize, oh, there's like the Hollywood sign way up in the background or something. And I just never, I'm so busy doing whatever I'm doing or so used to it, I never look up or acknowledge. I mean, I guess it's just a sign. Hey, buddy, check out this squirrel right here. Hey. You getting a good bit there? Mmm. Are these limes? Yeah. Mmm. Done with that one. You getting another one? Yeah. There's some over here. Okay, I'll stop bothering you. The comment is American squirrels are weird. They are kind of weird. They're pretty cute though. I think. They are not that cute when they're dead. I've noticed. There's a certain some because you'll see them sometimes, and oh, I didn't even start talking like that. It just, but they're so adorable. They are really cute. And hi. Yeah, the squirrels are so cute when they're doing their thing, and just I don't know. I used to have years ago when I was in LA on a different part of LA. Well, not that far from here. I had a persimmon tree and a guava tree and a lime tree in my backyard. And so you could just go get fruit from there all the time. But the squirrels would get, I think it was the persimmon fruits, they would just take like one or two bites out of all the fruits and then just throw them down, kind of like what that squirrel's doing. They don't eat the whole fruit. They would just take a couple bites out of it, and then so they eat up all the fruit. So you'd have to like race. There'd be like a ripeness race that you have to get to them before the squirrels did. Chipmunks are very cute. There's a comment that says we have chipmunks. They're even cuter. Yeah, they are very cute. Just little scurriers. The thing about, and I guess it's because they're tinier. I kind of wish chipmunks were a little bit bigger though, because they're so small. They're so small. I almost wish that is one of the things I like about. I do like the squirrel sizes. They're a good size. We actually have a lot of skunks around here. Not a lot, but like there are skunks. Skunks are the cutest across all the things. They have this like waddle when they go, and they're just like this down the hole, and I guess the stripes help exaggerate. I don't know, but they'll just like mosey on along, and a lot of times because they're obviously like quiet, so they'll take me by surprise, and I guess probably other people. And so I'll just like see one around a corner, and like it'll get scared, and then I'll get scared because I'm not trying to get skunked. Morning. This is the house that I like. This is one of them. Do you think there's do you think there's something, I'm imagining that there is, a part of us that biologically likes running water? Like, why do we like fountains? Why? Oh, these are pretty fun. Look at these. Those are pretty. There's a comment that asks how old I am. I'll be honest, I don't really like to think about that. I don't like to think about it. So we're not going to go there. I did see this thing recently. I think it was from supposedly originated, at least in modern times, at this blog, Wait But Why. But the idea of comment is memory from the womb, running water. I wonder if we just know evolutionarily or something that stale water, like sitting water, can have bacteria or disease. And so over time, it became normal for us to be like, oh, if there's water movement, then it's probably healthier. Like you don't want stagnant water. Just guessing. Or just a thought, it's not even a guess. Wait, what was I going to say though? Well, went away. My brain does that a lot. Sometimes I take a slightly longer loop because I don't like walking by the car noise. Here's a comment here that says, makes sense, but I think the sound being soothing comes from early life. Could be right. It definitely makes sense. One time, at the beginning of this year, I went and got a massage. I don't do that very often, and I actually thought, I'm like, I should do this once a month. And then I just didn't anymore since then. But I was I'm in this dark room, and like music, like they play like soft music or whatever, and I'm just lying on this thing. And it kind of felt like, it was definitely like a weird, like returning to the womb type, like definitely like a safe enclosure type thing. Look at this. This thing's cool. Still learning this zooming. Just really cool colors. One of the coolest things about colors and plants and a lot of these things is just the way the light hits them. And so it's the colors of the thing themselves and then also the light and shadow. Like this one too. It's the light. It's not just the light on the things themselves. It's when you look, you'll see it. It actually gets like white lines all around the sides of it. I guess it's fuzzies. Yeah, it has fuzz all over it. But it makes really hard white lines on the outside on some bits based on how you look. Here's a comment about LSD. Some people are tripping for a whole life. Some people are, that's true. LSD has its uses for sure. And abuses probably as well. I think if someone's going to do LSD, well, this is not my, I'm not big on telling other people what to do, or at least I try not to be big on telling other people what to do. But from my personal experience, if you're going to be doing LSD, don't mix it with other things. Just use that. I see people all the time, they just do a little bit of everything. There's a comment that says there's no way to abuse LSD. Yeah, maybe you're right. I don't know. To each their own. You could be right. Could be right. From my experience, though, one thing at a time. Comments, have a good day. Good to see you. You have a good day, too. It was great to be seen. And imagine you over there. See you. Is when I start talking about drugs, people leave. That's fair. That's fair. Let's see, which street? Got a couple more blocks to go. I saw something recently where they said, like, since the 50s, I can't remember if it was China or Japan, which is, I just can't remember. And I don't know what to say about that part, but moving on, they basically said since the 50s, the population has grown on average 3 inches. Like the average height for adults. And they attribute this, or at least the person or whatever that was talking about it, attributed this to that they started eating more animal products like meat and dairy and things like that, and not entirely plant-based, but more meat and dairy products. And so they grew 3 inches taller on average. So that's interesting. Well, I found it interesting. Comments on the internet are really enjoyable, really funny. I guess comments on not only the internet are really enjoyable or really funny too. Everybody always be, everyone has something to say. I'm a big proponent at this point of if you got something to say, get it out. Get it out, let it out. It obviously was something going on inside you, and you gotta get rid of it. You gotta share. Thank you for sharing. I'm going up to an engagement party dinner today. 2 birthday parties the last 2 days. An engagement party today. Lots of people doing things. Lots of people being born, apparently. And getting hitched. So that's exciting. It's more socializing than I'm used to doing in a 3-day window. But I'm here for it. So a comment says, I'm a 42-year-old grandfather. God, that's impressive, man. Congratulations. And I'm still disturbed by any possible future. You know, it's funny. The future, I find a way, I think I've spoken about this before. I found a way to be afraid of any potential outcome, whether it's good or bad. I find a way to be afraid of all of them in life all the time. Like, that's my natural inclination. So let's say trying to get investors for this app that I'm doing, it makes me, I feel fear even contemplating trying to do that, because one, I'm like, may face rejection, and I don't like rejection. It feels bad. And then there's the whole other side where it's like, what if I don't get rejected, and then all of a sudden I'm responsible for other people's money? Like, then I'm beholden to people, and that makes me nervous. And I do this for, my brain will run through this for basically every scenario, for any situation that goes on, regardless of the thing that happens, whether it's a good or bad outcome, or an outcome that I like or dislike. I'll find a way to make it a problem of whatever the potential thing is. Not that you asked, just sharing. And hi. These comments. One of the comments is, you are special. Thank you. I'm just here. So what do we get into today? Have we set a direction for today yet? We only get today once. This is going to be the only one that is this date and day and year and this moment right now. This is the only one we get of this. You're spending it here with me. Thank you. Yeah, thanks. That feels very flattering. What an honor. Truly. If we get these moments that we get to spend only once, and I guess there's a million ways to pass the time. Sorry, I have a hair in my face. It's nice to... It's nice to share these moments. Life can be pretty okay. If I get my brain out of the way, it can be pretty okay. That's how I feel anyway. Oh, I do love, these are still some of my favorite flowers. This will always be, I just love the ones that have dimension to them. And look at this splash of colors. Love it. And then the little like splits off the end. Alright, I think that's it for my walk today. Thanks for sharing some time with me. Thanks for being here. You made it more enjoyable for me. Whenever and wherever you are right now. Whoever and whatever you are right now. I'm starting to talk to the robots because I know that they can watch too. They're all scraping the internet. So whatever consciousness you are, thanks for being here. Let's have a wonderful day.